Being happy doesn't mean you're in a state of euphoria all the time. Being happy also doesn't mean you're in this constant state of untouchable calm all the time. According to researchers, you need both, a long-term sense of fulfillment with short-term peaks of pleasure to spice it up. In other words, a noble purpose in life and a few parties. First, let's talk about a noble purpose, which is the foundation for happiness. Many people will say that they had a bad day at work, but the same people can also say that they love their job. If your vocation serves a noble purpose, some short-term setbacks or stress won't derail your happiness for long. For example, when I'm working with gym owners who are going through a hard time, I tend to carry a lot of their burdens personally. I internalize them all. I lose sleep when they're going through a rate increase. I comb their social media nonstop when they fire a coach. I wouldn't describe these days as happy ones for me because I care a lot about my clients. But I also benefit from having a strong sense of purpose. I know from vast experience that the gym owner is doing the right thing in the long term. And if I can get them to take hard action, they'll eventually become far happier. Their families will benefit, their staff will benefit, and their clients will benefit most of all. And that's why being a mentor makes me happy. How do you know if your job or vocation fulfills a noble purpose? When you would do it for free. I would do this job for free. Hell, I have for years. You probably would do your job for free too. When owning a gym was my only job, I daydreamed many times. If somebody would just come along and pay me a salary, they could have the gym and I'd be happy. I just wanted enough to survive and keep going. The job made me happy. Unfortunately, the necessities of ownership soon began to outweigh the happiness I received from coaching. Until I fixed the business, coaching made me unhappy. Now let's talk about the other element of happiness, pleasure, because it's still necessary. Was Mother Teresa happy? I'm not sure. I never saw a picture of her smiling. I'm sure she was satisfied, maybe she was content. She had a noble cause to serve, helping the poorest of the poor in India's slums. And she was good at it. Her work made a difference that she could see every day. But was she happy? Think of your happiness like a big, colorful circus tent. The fabric of happiness is your noble purpose or your just cause. But the poles propping it up are the short bursts of joy that we call pleasure. A cancer researcher might have a great sense of purpose, but if she spends every weekend alone, she might still be unhappy. In fact, some of the smartest people in our culture are unhappy because their intellect is confined to math or science, individual pursuits, not done within a group. So here's how to become happy by taking action. Naval Ravikant asks, if you're so smart, why aren't you happy? And that's actually what started me on this journey. Obviously, happiness doesn't just happen. You have to create it. So I went looking for directives. Naval led me to Daniel Kahneman and Paul Dolan first. Paul Dolan wrote, "Happiness by Design, Change What You Do, Not How You Think." His greatest insight in that book was that the pursuit of happiness can be measured along two parallel lines and achieved both actively and passively. Happiness can happen to you, or you can take control and create happiness. So for example, active pleasure might mean sex, but you can't have sex all the time. Passive pleasure might mean being carefree and lying on a beach, but you can't do that all the time either, because if poverty doesn't get you, the diabetes will. Filling in the gaps between bouts of pleasure is your overall sense of purpose. Active purpose might mean making a short-term sacrifice for a long-term gain, like shopping for groceries. It's not a pleasant chore, but it does help you gain a sense of purpose because you're feeding your family. Passive purpose might mean having a noble goal in life. That noble goal or a vision of service is often enough to carry you through severe unpleasantness. I'll write about that in the next article in this series. So if you're a gym owner, try to find something fun in every class you teach. Tell a joke in every appointment, but don't lose sight of your mission either. Take time to write down your mission and how life will look when it's fulfilled. We call this your vision. The clearer your mission, the happier you'll be. The next step is to make other people happy. You'll become happier as a result. So help your friends find pleasure, like tell a joke or hand out smiles and hugs. But also take care to remind them of their purpose. Remind them every day why they're in your gym. It's not just a good sales practice, not just a good retention tool. It will make you happy too. Finally, give yourself permission to experience pleasure. Eat the damn cake at the Christmas party. You don't have to be an example of willpower or stoicism or discipline all the time. I'm sharing this series around the holiday season for a reason, because I spent too many holiday parties trying to set an example for others by eating only vegetables and turkey, working out at 5 a.m. on Christmas morning before my kids got up, and just generally being hardcore. What I was really doing was separating myself from everyone around me. I was separating myself from the experience and the happiness that they were having. No, eating sugar won't make you happy, we all know that. But self-sacrifice without a noble purpose won't either. Consider the holidays your 3-day happiness kickstart. Your mission to be as happy as possible over the next 72 hours. 3, 2, 1, happy.